like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Dior Pop Purple Heart. Today we're diving into a moment that, once again, stirred the entire fandom. It wasn't a dramatic stage performance. It wasn't a shocking announcement. It wasn't even a long speech. It was just a simple video clip, quiet, reflective, almost understated. And yet, within hours, it became one of the most discussed topics among fans, especially those who have long followed the dynamic between Park Jimin and Jungkook of BTS. At first glance, nothing about the clip seemed extraordinary. Jungkook was speaking calmly about relationships, about the idea that human connection can become a source of strength. He talked about how important it is to have someone in your life who supports you, someone whose presence alone can make difficult days feel lighter. His tone was thoughtful, almost introspective, as if he was drawing from lived experience rather than abstract theory. But then came the line that changed everything. When he mentioned that a relationship could become an inspiration for other couples, the atmosphere shifted. Fans didn't just hear a general statement, they felt something layered beneath it. There was no name mentioned, no clarification, no direct confirmation of anything. Yet the weight of that sentence seemed heavier than it appeared. Why did it feel that way? Because for years, fans have witnessed the journey of Jimin and Jungkook side by side. From their earliest debut days, when they were still teenagers navigating an unforgiving industry, to becoming global superstars carrying enormous responsibility, their bond has been consistently visible. Not loudly declared. Not overly dramatized. Just present. And presence can be powerful. What made this moment even more compelling wasn't only what Jungkook said, but how he said it. Observant fans noticed the slight pause before continuing his sentence. The softness in his expression. The subtle shift in his voice when discussing meaningful connection. These small details may seem insignificant to casual viewers, but in a fandom that has followed every chapter of their growth, they feel like emotional cues. Body language often reveals sincerity in ways words cannot. A brief hesitation can signal vulnerability. A gentle smile can hint at memory. A steady gaze can suggest conviction. In that clip, many fans felt they were witnessing not just commentary, but reflection. Of course, interpretation is subjective. Some listeners view his words as universal truths about relationships. After all, Jungkook has often shown himself to be reflective and philosophical in interviews. He speaks about growth, love, support, and gratitude in ways that resonate broadly. It would not be unusual for him to describe healthy connection without referencing anyone specific. And that perspective deserves respect. Yet context shapes meaning. Over the years, fans have seen countless interactions between Jimin and Jungkook that stand out. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are consistent. The way they instinctively gravitate toward each other in group settings. The way they exchange glances that seem to carry unspoken understanding. The subtle gestures of care, adjusting a microphone, offering water, placing a reassuring hand on the shoulder during emotional moments. Individually, each gesture is small. Collectively, they create a pattern. That pattern is what makes moments like this feel significant. When Jungkook speaks about a relationship that inspires others, fans naturally reflect on what they have observed over the years. Backstage footage resurfaces. Old interviews are revisited. Concert clips are replayed. Even comments that once seemed casual take on renewed depth. This cycle isn't new in fandom culture. Whenever two public figures share undeniable chemistry over a long period of time, narratives form. Discussions grow. Interpretations multiply. But what makes this particular dynamic resonate so deeply for many is its apparent emotional steadiness. Their closeness doesn't seem forced. It doesn't feel performative. It feels lived in. There's a comfort in their interaction that suggests familiarity beyond surface-level friendship. When one laughs, the other's reaction feels instinctive. When one appears tired, the other's concern seems genuine. It's not about grand romantic gestures, It's about everyday consistency. And perhaps that's why the idea of inspiration struck such a chord. Inspiration doesn't require spectacle. It often grows from reliability, from loyalty shown quietly over time, from choosing to remain beside someone even when circumstances change. Many fans have expressed that watching their bond over the years has influenced how they think about relationships in their own lives, not necessarily in a romantic sense, but in terms of emotional safety and support. The longevity of their connection also plays a crucial role. Time tests authenticity. The entertainment industry is intense, unpredictable, and often isolating. Friendships can fade under pressure. Personalities can shift. Priorities can change. Yet, through world tours, award shows, hiatus periods, solo projects, and personal growth, their closeness appears unwavering. That kind of endurance is rare, and rarity naturally draws attention. Another layer to consider is how deeply fans feel connected to the journey of BTS as a whole. This isn't just about observing celebrities from a distance. For many, their music and story provided comfort during difficult periods in life. So when members speak about meaningful relationships, it resonates personally. Fans project their own hopes, experiences, and emotions into those words. One sentence becomes a mirror reflecting thousands of individual interpretations. This recent moment also demonstrates the power of collective emotion. Within hours, discussions spread across social media platforms worldwide. Some fans created thoughtful analyses. Others shared emotional edits compiling years of memories. Some responded with tears. Others with laughter. The diversity of reactions highlights how one small moment can unite millions in shared feeling. It's fascinating how a quiet statement can generate louder impact than a dramatic announcement. At its core, this conversation may not even be about labels. It may not be about confirming or denying anything. It might simply be about acknowledging that meaningful human connections, whatever form they take, matter deeply. If Jungkook was speaking from personal experience, that vulnerability is touching. If he was speaking in general terms, that wisdom is still beautiful. Either way, the message stands. Relationships built on trust, support, and understanding have the power to inspire others. And perhaps that is the true takeaway. In a world often filled with division and uncertainty, witnessing consistent emotional support between two people, especially under immense public scrutiny, can offer comfort. It reminds people that closeness can survive pressure, that loyalty can endure fame, that shared growth can strengthen rather than divide. So maybe the most meaningful part of this moment isn't the speculation. It's the feeling it created, a feeling of warmth, a feeling of nostalgia for how far they've come, a feeling of hope that genuine connection exists. As fans, we may never fully know the depth of what lies behind the scenes. And maybe we don't need to. Sometimes the beauty of a story lies not in definitive answers, but in the emotions it evokes along the way. Now I want to ask you, when you watched that clip, what did you feel? Did it seem like a deeply personal reflection? Or did it feel like a universal message about love and support? There's no right or wrong interpretation. What matters is the sincerity of your perspective. Share your thoughts in the comments. I truly love reading your insights and theories. If you enjoyed this deeper discussion, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue exploring meaningful moments together. And share this with friends who love analyzing these stories just as much as you do. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, sometimes the quietest words carry the loudest emotions.